I'm gonna get something to drink real quick.
We're in. Take a deep breath. All right, welcome back, everybody. Another stream coming at you. Got more Malick. Got some slapstick comedy as well. Some Zucker and Abrahams. Some Zaz, I guess you'd
A
say.
young Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
singing and dancing.
Yeah, this was. You wanna intro this one, Noah, since you picked it, or
Start with Top Secret.
yeah.
Yeah, Top Secret. I had seen this one already, and I just thought it was a banger. It was fucking. It's like nonstop jokes. So I was like, I just wanted you guys to see it. That's why I picked it because I was like, yeah,
Definitely.
I think you guys get a kick out of this one.
Have you guys seen like Zucker and Abraham's other things at all, like Airplane, Basketball?
I've seen
I
Airplane.
didn't know
Did he do
Gun?
Naked Gun? Yeah,
So.
I watched those too.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely in that catalog, and had not seen this one yet. So
Me neither. This is the first for me as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you guys think overall then? What were your takeaways?
Had some good laughs. If I compare it to some of their other stuffs, it's not my favorite compared to like Basketball and Airplane and Naked Gun, honestly. But Naked Gun's kind of aged a little bit last time I watched it. But you can't go wrong with this type of humor. Just the slapstick visual gag humor.
So many.
It's just easy to watch. So
yeah, it was entertaining. I mean, it got me chuckling a couple times. I was watching it. There was the two scenes Elliot sat down and watched with me, and when he sat down, the guy fell off the tower and shattered. He turned back to me and laughed at that. So I don't know. It's a little morbid, but okay.
Right.
Glad he enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And yeah, he loved the cow scenes, of course, too. Every time he saw a cow, it was moo, moo, moo over and over again. So,
okay.
but yeah, it was just funny that he actually laughed at one of the scenes by himself.
Yeah, that was funny. I was actually wondering, like, because I didn't really take many notes other than like the gags that worked and then the gags that like didn't really land.
Yeah,
it's only like two different sections, and I was wondering, like, because some of it goes just like very slapstick, or it's like almost just for a kid to laugh at, like
yeah,
like
definitely.
that moment.
It's silly, yeah.
The one that I noted, I was like, I don't know if that really worked that well, but it's like when the undercover salesman is like giving him a bunch of shit that's like blowing up, like the flower squirting in his face and like the cigar blowing up or whatever. It just doesn't. It makes like no sense, that scene doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
but that moment,
there are definitely some like non sequiturs that are just like, okay,
it's like they just went for a funny joke or like a funny moment.
One that didn't work for me was the pigeon statue. That was just kind of random, and the people like flew down onto the pigeon statue and pissed on it. I mean, I don't know. Is there a pigeon statue over there? And I don't know. They like pigeons.
That was just like a joke they thought about, and they're like, "How do we work this in the movie?"
Yeah. This is definitely like the epitome of, all right, how do we make a gag out of every scene? Like, what do we do to subvert everything? Yeah. Like when the guy jumps on the grenade and everyone still explode. Yeah.
Just like subverts the expectations that you're like getting prepared for.
Trying to like fuck with you.
Yeah. I feel like with like Airplane, I think the first one I ever saw was Basketball, which is just a phenomenal fucking movie. I love that movie so much.
Real big
watched
fish.
Airplane. Yeah, right. Cameo. And the Airplane is just so good too. I think like those two are kind of the top tiers for me.
Yeah.
And Airplane's more like has like this energy of like being shot out of a cannon, and you're kind of like on this ride. And like Top Secret is kind of like what you're saying. It's just like jokes. Like it doesn't like feel like it's like a whole like Airplane is and Baseball is.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just kind of like some funny bits with like Val Kilmer.
And there's like 3 bullet points they have to hit. But in between those 3 bullet points that they hit, there's just random bullshit like jokes. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the story is not very cohesive or relevant. Like,
it doesn't even really like go anywhere. I feel like.
Yeah.
I thought like the things that kind of dragged it down a little bit were the musical sequences. I enjoyed them. I didn't think they were bad.
There was just a lot.
There was too many.
Like a few too many.
And it's
They
kind
went
of
on
like
for a long time too.
yeah, they just
Yeah.
like
Like
they
it
were
just
not
felt
adding anything.
strange that they kept going. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially
That
the
bug
first one.
one sticks out. Oh, like the opening sequence?
The one where they're in the restaurant and he starts, dancing around on tables and stuff. That one felt like it went way too long for me. But
Mm.
And then like later on, he's like, "Oh, I gotta go sing more," and you're just kind of like, okay. I mean, it's
please
like,
don't. You don't have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's like a treat to see Val Kilmer just doing some,
Yeah.
suave, funny shit on the stage. Because like honestly, just watching any Val Kilmer shit feels like a treat to me now. Because we know he can't like do
Yeah.
it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a bummer, but it's nice to like revisit his early stuff, and he's having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing some good shit.
Yeah, this movie's just a good time, man. I totally forgot about like the opening sequence. That's why I asked about it because I was
Keep
like,
shooting.
Yeah, that made me think of
ridiculous.
Community. There's like a ski sing shoot thing that they're watching in one of the episodes. And I was just like, that had to be like an homage to this movie for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The one joke that actually like really tickled me was the bikes. Actually, when she says, "Get rid of the bikes" or whatever, and he goes out there and he shoots them off like horses, and they just take off. That one really got me going. I liked
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we should just go through some of the gags then at this
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah,
I feel like the one that
Which one?
the first one that hit me, I was like, that was funny. I like that. It was like the map gag where it's like you see the train going,
Pac-Man.
and then
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah,
good cars, and then it
yeah,
just like transitions into Pac-Man. I thought that was fun.
yeah. It was good.
A lot of like
Um,
visual stuff too, like that. But another one I had is like in the middle of like a fight sequence, Val Kilmer and this other dude. He's like pushing his face, and
Yes.
then like
Yeah.
he moves his hand, and the face is like still in that weird ass like form. It's like some good makeup or whatever, but that's you know that you're in like good hands at least in this movie because like
Yeah.
the people making it are
yeah,
like on top of the scenes at least, or on top of the joke.
Janitor's closet has a janitor in it. Prop closet. Bunch of props.
Right.
Yeah. What's the line that the girl says? It's like it's all out of a bad movie. They
Yeah.
just break the fourth
Look to
wall.
look to the camera. That's good.
Yeah.
I really liked how it like shows him having a nightmare sequence, and he's in school and he didn't study or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he's like wakes up and he's getting whipped, and he's like, "Oh, thank God!" Like he's like, "That's just funny shit."
Yeah. What's
With that one too, I really liked that the priest is the one that got the electric chair when he was walking down and he was reading all in Pig Latin. That was funny. I
Yeah,
like that one.
everything with the French Resistance? I kind of dug too. As soon as they like you meet the French Resistance,
yeah,
go through all their names,
right.
and then the gunfight that happens after that is just insane.
Mhm.
It's playing tic tac toe, all the glass smashing, the dude. It's just that's the scene I remember the most, other than like the underwater fight. That was like the main gag I remember.
I liked that one.
That's
I
good.
Underwater
enjoyed that.
fight, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that was like a great like ending set piece too.
Yeah.
Like it upped the stakes in such a silly way, like or upped the set piece.
Just like swimming out of the way of the chandelier falling.
I love how
So
like
good.
it slowly reveals that there's like more stuff down there. Like
Yeah.
you see like the
Yeah.
school, then you see like the bartender over to the side, then you see the people playing poker or whatever. Like
The whole ass saloon. Yeah.
yeah, just like
It's
slowly
great.
builds.
Yeah.
One of my favorite gags is just like a simple joke, but they get to the pizza place, and then like literally every background actor is just like stretching cheese into the fucking like background, like just
Yeah.
constant stretching. What else was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like simple shit too. I guess this one's not like super on the nose or whatever, but when they parachute down and they're just kind of just like in the same spot,
And
like
he comes
talking to
back
each
up.
other. Yeah, and they're like
Yeah.
slowing like maybe a little bit, but like just the fact that they're like perfectly placed the whole time is just
Yeah.
like funny to me too. The dude, like the crushing of the cricket. Like there's just like small shit that you don't even notice unless you're like really watching. There's like a cricket. They're on a hill, like the crew's on a
Yeah.
hill, And he takes out this giant fucking hammer and just like slams the cricket. Like you just hear like the I hear the death.
Looney Tune shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was
there.
like if this is true to like historically accurate, but I liked how the German vehicles they were Mercedes because it's German made vehicles. I don't know if that's like the actual accuracy or they were just saying like putting a German vehicle because I mean they do mention wow the Germans know how to make vehicles. Yeah.
I assume it's got to be a joke, right?
Yeah. Giant Mercedes sign. I like that one a lot.
Hits the Pinto like barely, fucking just blows up. That was definitely a joke of the time.
Yeah.
One of
I gotta watch the other stuff because I haven't seen Naked Gun or Airplane.
Damn, yeah. This is like, you liked this for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a 4-star movie for me, so I was like,
yeah, Airplane's really good. Really fun.
Airplane.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, I really also loved when they're in like the fighting in the vehicle, and then they just start like changing the radio station on each other as like part of the fight. I think that was one of the better gags for sure. I guess like the ones that didn't work, like the music sequences, I feel like it leaned a lot on like Beach Boys, Beatles, Elvis. So I guess like this movie might feel a little dated to people, the Pinto jokes and stuff like that. But I don't know, they're fun, but like it's not really impactful in any way.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it hurts me a little bit because it feels like the type of movie people would like write off. I specifically I'm thinking like Gen Z for some reason. Yeah, as like
it's a different kind of comedy.
I mean, like these clips would play well on TikTok though, right?
They would because it's constant. Like they're throwing stuff at you constantly, which is enough to stimulate the modern audience. You would think, but it's just a different kind of comedy. You gotta think a little bit, not necessarily think, but like it's not just like an Adam Sandler movie. It's not easy to just laugh at all the time. Like the bikes being horses and he shoot them away, like people would think that's just stupid.
Right.
But
that's my thing. Is people would be like, "This is just a dumb movie."
Yeah.
I could see that.
So,
I think I'm gonna go 3.5 right now. That's
about where I'm at. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I like
3.5 stars.
Might go down if after I watch more of their stuff. But
I guess it's like the mood you're into. I mean, you got to be ready for like silliness, And,
I had no idea that that's what this was. I mean, I asked what the movie was called today just to clarify, but then when I watched it, like started it up, I'm like, oh, this is just a spoof. I understand now. So.
You're ready for like this action movie, Like,
yeah.
Lines,
well, when you see Val Kilmer, you're not thinking like slapstick spoof comedy. You're thinking Top Gun or fucking Tombstone. I mean, he did that Shane Black movie, but that's not slapstick. It's just kind of comedy. Yeah. But
he's still playing.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's charming as ever in this, so it worked.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, just an easy watch,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
On to a more difficult watch, though. Right? Terrence Malick, number 4.
Number 4. We're moving right along, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say for me, it is starting to pick up. Maybe I'm just like becoming attuned to his style more now, where it's like, okay, I can kind of expect what to see.
Definitely. I was gonna say this is feeling like one of the longest dives we've done. Again, we're only not even like halfway through, man. I mean, we've taken like a week or two off here and there, but I don't know, man. Maybe time is just moving slower for me right now.
Could be.
I'm ready to be kind of done, but anyways, let's talk in the new world. We're not done yet, so
yeah, the new world.
Yeah, living it, baby.
Got Colin Farrell leading this one. A little bit of Christian Bale tossed in on the side.
Yeah.
I would butcher the main actress's name, so I won't even try it. But
let me try.
Good luck,
man. Karaoke Kilcher. Nailed it.
That sounded great. Yeah, cool. But I mean, instantly I was just like, "Oh, this is a live action Pocahontas movie." I had no idea
Also
what
didn't know
that's.
that.
Yeah, I had no
That
idea
took me
what
by
that's what I was looking for.
surprise. Which
We were
John
watching it.
Smith, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever like if I did watch Pocahontas, it was like a long time ago when I was growing up, so I don't know how accurate it was. But Sarah was with me. She actually one of the things she actually watched with me was this one, and she was like, "Oh, so this is just Pocahontas." I'm like, "Good, so you can tell me if this is what happened." But
Yeah.
anyway,
did she enjoy it or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was actually engaged the whole time and watched it. Definitely not her kind of movie, but I think she liked that it was, just a live action Pocahontas before Disney makes, all their live action shit. It was just an artsy Pocahontas, if you will.
Yeah, maybe
Although
that's
they
why
never
they.
call her Pocahontas. It's Rebecca.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why Disney hasn't done Pocahontas yet. Is because like it's like, well, the New World that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were, I don't think it would even compare.
Yeah, I
if they
mean,
were
it's
to
gonna be
try and do it.
cartoony as fuck. It's gonna be
It's gonna be
Aladdin, Lion King.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm curious like what Mufasa is gonna be like. I don't know, man. Like I have like this.
Are you curious or are you worried?
I mean, I don't really care, but like I've taken an effort to like watch most of the movies that have come out this year.
Yeah.
And Mufasa comes out this year, so like, do I have to watch it?
Yeah, well, you let us know how that is. At least me.
Okay.
I will not be watching it
Okay.
personally, but
No, hey, no. I'll go in. I'll see what it's about. I'll let you guys know.
you take
Yeah.
one for the
I'll tell you
team.
not to
Appreciate
watch
that.
it. I assume. Yeah. Um, but yeah, the New World, pretty well done as a live action Pocahontas. Not gonna lie, it's not bad.
I agree.
I kind of had the reverse journey of the Thin Red Line though, where I thought
Okay.
like the first half of this movie was like really good. Not I liked it a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then the next hour and a half happened, and I was like, man.
When Colin Farrell leaves, it started to drag.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
I I mean, I was more engaged with that character than Christian Bale's character. I mean, Christian Bale did fine. It was just like there's Smith. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember the cartoon. I don't know if Rofel
Thomas.
or yeah, whatever his name is, if he
Rolf.
was
Yeah.
part of it. But
I looked
I
up.
was more interested in the John Smith storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked up like
He's
the
a more
history,
interesting character. But anyway, sorry.
and
Yeah.
I
Once you
guess
lose him, it's like, how do you reconnect? But,
yeah, it just like takes so long too, like with Christian Bale. But like in history, in reality, she did have a baby with Thomas Rolfe or whatever.
Okay.
So like, I mean,
historically accurate.
yeah, I guess like Malick just tried to do it. He tried to like put the real shit in.
Yeah.
Dude, I honestly like. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it just he kind of pulled it back together. Obviously, in the final scene where she got that closure, with John Smith. But yeah, I don't know. I just wish there was more of them in there, or maybe more John Smith. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of
A little
John
bit.
Smith though, too. You know, like the
There
first
is.
hour and a half, like hour. It's just all Smith and Pocahontas looking at each other in the forest. You know,
But his character is so much more interesting because he has this conflict in him, and then you have Christian Bale who's just like, I kind of want to marry her, and then you're just working in the fields with her, and he's not interesting.
This
John Smith
mundane.
had like this conflict in him that I don't know.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, he's got his like colony that he's got to like lead now.
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
His duties versus what morally, is conflicting with him.
Yeah. I will say there was something. I feel like this was intentional, but what stood out to me was like a lot of the time they were always kind of like grasping to find like a leader amongst the group in the colonies.
Mhm.
And it really like points out, I thought, it points out well that it's like the power structure of, this European power, and then the complete opposite of like everything's shared, everything's tribal. Yeah, I don't know. It like nailed that for me. I was like, this reads, this is good.
It
That's
kind of.
yeah. The first half of it, I was like picking up on like very subtle like visuals and like obviously it's you get like the flowing grass pretty quickly on, to get to link it to Malick, but I thought he used like a lot of like water imagery in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like where water meets land, which like harkens to like obviously the colonizers coming from water onto this land, and but also the two bodies like Pocahontas and John Smith, like these two opposing forces kind of, are like ideas.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like I was like in it. I was like, fuck man, this might be my favorite one. And then
Yeah.
like something happened in that last half where I just like checked the fuck out. Like,
Same. Yeah, it was crazy how much of a drop off. I think it was just that Christian Bale storyline, but
it doesn't. You don't need
yeah,
a 2.5 hour movie, man. Fuck, I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait, man.
Yeah.
There's more locked and loaded.
Well, there is like an extended version. I don't know
There
if I
is, and
watched
I
it or
hear it's
not.
better.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How long is that? And what
I don't
is
know.
added?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
More
I also
Johnston.
like maybe I missed something. John Smith is kind of just like nixed from the story somehow. I don't. I guess I might have missed something where it's like they thought he was
he
dead or
was
something.
he was called to go check out the Andes, like explore somewhere else,
Yeah.
and he told the guy to tell Pocahontas or Rebecca that he drowned.
I
So
see. I did miss
yeah,
that.
so
I
he
missed
he
that.
left in the night, and then someone told her like 3 months later that he died. So then she went through that mourning period.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess like bridging very quickly from Colin Farrell to Christian Bale, and then playing an hour to hour 15 of Christian Bale. When in the first half, I was like, where the F is Christian Bale at? Like, I was just like, where the fuck is
yeah,
this guy even in this movie? And then
yeah,
he's in the movie way too much in the second. It's like all his movie.
yeah.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
like feel right. But
Yeah. It breaks up the flow. Yeah. But like you mentioned the ending, Alex, and that's where like it does tie it up. And I'm beginning to appreciate just because like I feel like Terrence Malick's his filmmaking style is just like give you these themes, play out these things, and then like reinforce with just like thoughtful imagery. Like
Well, that's
reinforce
what
those things. That's good. Sound.
with these movies especially, I love looking up like the trivia on them and hearing like what's happening. And I guess with this one specifically, he like gave there's no dolly shots, no crane shots. It was all handheld and things like that. But he just gave cameras to the crew members and said, "Go take video," and we'll go through them. And
Yeah.
like Kodak awarded him for having like X amount of feet of film that he developed for this movie. But and another thing was when Christian Bale was in a couple scenes or whatever, he was talking how Malick has got such a interesting way of filming that he always has the cameras rolling. So he'd like walk towards the crew members and people would just dive in bushes and Malick would keep rolling. So it's just interesting to see how Malick, and you could see it kind of like unfold on the screen where there's just this voiceover that you could tell is it posts because he cuts out all the talking and wants more of the imagery. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool.
I mean, it's
That's
kind of like a silent film. A lot of this movie, like, there's
yeah,
not
yeah.
very much dialogue except for the VO.
yeah.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I think the VO like needed to be louder, like straight up just louder.
There
Because
was a
like,
couple spots where I agree. Yeah,
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like,
that,
man, I should probably be watching with subtitles because I don't know what they just said.
Yeah.
I was watching subs, but I
Yeah.
agree. It did get quiet at times, but
I mean, it's very
even their
whispery.
dialogue in the like when they're actually talking to each other, the few times that they do talk, it was really quiet. I noticed that. But
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Better sound design. All the videography's there is better sound design.
I think Malick, I was like, when I came away here and the last few films too, the thing he struggles with the most is the editing process. Like, I
he,
don't think he like has a full grasp of his movie
Yeah.
in the last ones we've seen. I don't know.
Or
He
just
kind
like
of is
what
just
he
like,
wants to cut or what he should cut. Yeah.
yeah, but I like a better editor, in my opinion, would like be like, no, don't do that. Like,
yeah, he edits his own films, and that's a lot of the problems. Is
mm,
him getting like caught in the weeds of how he should edit it. Like even the composer said he's pretty disappointed in this one specifically because the stuff that he composed was the movie was so chopped up in the end after Malick got done with it that just bits of his score was in there that he did for Malick. It wasn't like yeah. So
Yeah,
that was the same with Thin Red Line. The composer said the same thing, where it's after Malick starts editing it, it
the
just kind
actors
of
don't
gets
even
lost.
know if they're in the movie after it.
Right.
Like he
Right.
cuts
Yeah.
it. It's like just makes me think also like how long are these scripts? Like because if you
Yeah.
have like a 300-page fucking script, like you're just shooting yourself in the foot trying to even do anything with that after in the editing process.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
but if he's really filming all this shit, I just don't like I don't see how he like has the vision at for the end goal. You know, it's just kind of
Yeah.
like he's just doing shit. And then later he's like, you know, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll take out Colin Farrell's audio here for a reason that
Yeah.
only I can understand. You know, like and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a artistic choice, but
Yeah.
it like just give me what he said or like hyper like fixate on it where it's like a whisper that we're not supposed to hear and not just like you took out the audio of that section. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Sure.
know.
Make it impactful some other way. Yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
like filmmaking language like you can easily do things like that where it's like you didn't hear what he said, you only saw the lips move. But it just happens like right after he said something. So it's like why you it looks like you just like fucked up that take and you didn't cut it right or
Right.
something, you know,
Yeah.
like
Muted that track on accident.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like a lot of what I'm getting with him, especially like in this one. I liked it a lot for the most part. I just don't feel like I'm at like there's not a person at the helm that I can like fully trust all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like
I
with
kind of
our
have
other
that.
filmmakers, you can like almost put all your trust into the film. And
Yeah.
for these ones, I don't know if I can. But
Yeah. I definitely see that, especially with the editing. I think what he wants to get across, at least it seems in these I don't know if the first movie necessarily sort of kind of falls in line, but just the theme that he's going with, how just men. I think he just kind of hates mankind or something. I don't know, just the the corruption they have on it, the innocence of
yeah,
people, nature.
Yeah.
he must
Yeah,
have
it's
had the one that got away, man. Because all these
yeah,
movies are just a dude lusting after a girl that like doesn't really
Yeah.
want him that much, you know.
Yeah.
That's what must be
uh,
his trauma,
ultimate simp. Oh boy.
right? Malick, the ultimate simp.
Yeah. That's the theme. That's the theme of all that.
I will say though, like I think what you're saying though about how you're like kind of getting it or something, like there is like an innate like cohesion to these films now that we've watched them in a row,
Yeah. Yeah.
visually, like thematically, and like you can just like feel Malick's what he's going for, or like his like I guess mostly visual, but
Yeah. It's his style for sure. It's just like now that I think we've seen a few, yeah, I just know what to expect. And it's
yeah,
not bad. It's not
it's not
it
bad.
hasn't blown me out of the water, but it's not bad. It's good.
That's a good way to put it for me as well.
You know.
But they do feel like of a group, of a catalog. So like I appreciate that. Like I can kind of
Right.
pick out what a Malick movie is, and
Yeah.
I don't know some filmmakers don't have that package, So like even like we were talking last week with Chazelle, they kind of feel like a
Yeah.
Chazelle movie, but they're not like
How would you know?
yeah, it's hard to like
Yeah.
pick it out, So
Yeah. I feel that.
yeah, and what I appreciate is like he's just trying to say something in all his movies, which doesn't always have to be true for most movies, but sometimes it's nice that he has like something that he just wants to express. He does it over and over again, but
Yeah.
makes it's more thought provoking than the average writer director, which I appreciate.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
There's either a
maybe
message or yeah.
yeah, I think maybe the no dialogue in his movies tends to bring about that. It's like
yeah,
maybe he's like realized everything's too on the nose or kind of hammy, and
yeah,
then when you pull it all out and only you give like these little bits of looks and stuff, you have to like do more work as an audience
right.
member. So
Yeah.
The audience gets to like come to their own conclusions for a change. It's not, they're not told directly.
Yeah.
yeah,
Let him
How
breathe
to
a little.
feel.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
With this one especially, you feel like with John Smith and Pocahontas, like it's a lot of just visual storytelling of how their relationship kind of blossoms. Like, yeah, there's the voiceover, but like you said, there's a lot of like stalking, long gazes, kind of strolling. I don't know.
Wandering.
Just
Touching
cool.
of the arms.
Yeah.
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 Hanging with the Indians. Yeah.
Wes Studi, that dude. He I don't want to give the name of the Native American he played, but that dude was in every Native American role from like 1990 to 2010, dude.
Oh yeah.
Last of the Mohicans, Dances with Wolves. This one.
He was the go-to guy for those years, man, and good for it.
Cashing in. Good for him.
I was surprised too. David Thewlis just gets like murked like 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, right.
He's like about to shoot, I think, John Smith, and then some other dude just shoots him. And you're just like,
He goes to the premiere. He's like, I was supposed to be the star. Malick didn't tell me.
He told me to lie on the ground and act like I was dead. I didn't know why, but it's really starting to come together now.
Christopher Plummer also swore never to work with Terrence Malick again after this movie.
Oh, really? He got cut out? Got snipped out of there? It was not in much.
No, he burns a lot of bridges, this Malick guy.
Yeah. I think it's like you come and do all this work for him because he's filming a lot, obviously. And then to find, like, if I was Adrian Brody in The Thin Red Line and I filmed like 40 scenes that didn't make it or some shit, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that.
Man?
Yeah, like what the
send me a bonus. Give me some compensation. Yeah.
I was supposed to be the main character and now I'm in the background. Like weird. Just a weird like process for the man.
Yeah, you get A-list actors, it's like my thought would be just to utilize them. Right?
They expect something though too, as like if you're coming to the set to do this work, it's like you're doing this because it's gonna like go in, or the most of it's gonna go in, and you needed me to be here to do this, like with Malick, he's just like, fuck it, nah.
Yeah. We'll see.
You get a couple pages.
See you at the premiere.
Go back to the trailer.
I was thinking too, is like Tarantino, the man, the myth, he does similar stuff like that, where it's like he'll film some scenes and then like if it's not cutting together or he doesn't like it or whatever, he'll just like nix it and take it out. Yeah. But I guess like there's more of a respect level for him about it or something. Like I wondered like why people love to work with him or want to work with him, and then people are like swearing to never work with Malick again. It's like
yeah, that is interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Maybe it's
I
just
suppose not having it. I mean, I don't know how many Tarantino movies are more than 2 hours, but going into a mouth and be like, yeah, we're gonna have 2 hours and 30 minutes of screen time, baby. Like,
it's also go ahead.
It's just the lack of communication, because at least all the stories I've heard, they don't know that it's happening until they get to the premiere and they see it.
True.
And they're like, what the hell,
Yeah.
So
a shitty way to find out. Yeah.
I was thinking also like Tarantino's are very, like you said, like not a lot are more than 2 hours. They're very tight and like packed, and like they fucking boom 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 boom. Yeah. With Malick, he's like, let me just again show you a shot of Pocahontas and John Smith. Yeah. Maybe people are just like soured on the fact that's like you could have put my shit in, because it's like it's not like you needed to stretch it here or there or cut here or there.
Yeah, but it's like where the values are. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if Terry Malick is like still making movies. Is he like planning on making more? Yeah.
He's the last like 10 years. He like, or 10, 15 years. He just like started going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know when I think the last one was like 2020.
Yeah, that one's maybe? Like almost 4 hours, isn't it? His last movie.
Fucking kidding me.
I mean, let me double check. I don't want to scare everybody off, but it's super fucking long. I know that.
Fuck. I reserved the 4-hour mark for Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Sorry.
The extended cuts. Meant to be long as shit.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. It's only 3 hours. Only 3 hours.
Okay.
At least you've placed my expectations a little lower now. It's like, it's a little bit of a relief now.
somewhat manageable.
Oh, the guy, the lead man he plays Major Hellstrom from Inglourious Bastards. Look at that.
Which one is Major Hellstrom?
He's the one that say Advitas into your Nazi balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Wait, Stiglitz?
No. It's
Oh,
not
the guy he does
Stiglitz.
it to.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that one does, but most of the next ones have pretty big name actors still, so I guess I get to look forward to like performances still,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to Tree of Life. That's like the last,
that's next, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Brad Pitt. So there's a couple on here
boy.
that critics and people don't like, but I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Our stay gold standard is cut above the rest.
We know what's up.
Maybe we just have the patience to do what people can't.
Yeah.
No, we do. Yeah.
I think a lot of people outside of like Letterboxd know Malick. You know, he's a very low key filmmaker, I think, in general.
Definitely, especially if you go on IMDb and look at like Days of Heaven and you see like only 60,000 people rated it, that's a pretty low number for IMDb for a movie that's been out for 50 plus years. So
that's kind of crazy, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I was also thinking
that's like Richard Gere's first movie too. Like Richard Gere's he's a movie star, so
yeah.
Okay. The younger generation, man, they don't know who Richard Gere is either, though.
Yeah, who's that old fuck?
I know him because
that old fuck was handsome. All right,
he was a star. I also wondered, how does Malick scout for his films? Like, scout locations? He must just go to like random empty fields and be like,
yeah, brings a camera with him. Yeah, this looks good.
Is the grass flowing enough? Yes.
Is there enough nature here?
Right. Just like the middle of nowhere. All of his films just take place in a forest or just in like a grass prairie, you know. So
what was nice about the juxtaposition in the two locations were like how alive the Indian like towns or cities or whatever villages were, and then you go back to the Europeans and it's just a fucking shithole. Like totally different vibe. You go there, you're just depressed. You know,
everyone's starving and
pissed off.
Goes perfectly with Mr. Malick's themes, so
yeah,
succeeded there.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Malick's been kind of hard to rate for me. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to find.
This one was tough for me to rate. Yeah.
I think I'm landing at 3.5.
Okay.
And I was ready to give it 4 stars in the first hour of this movie. I was like so on board. So maybe in the future, come back to it and see what it's like. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it just made me think like it was better than the Thin Red Line. It made me want to move the Thin Red Line to 3.5, and then I did like this weird little thing in the middle where I was like, I guess not, because Thin Red Line's better, but this is 3.5. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, this was going to be 4.5, but then I bumped it down to 4 just because the last hour just kind of dragged. I mean, what saved the 4-star rating for me was that it tied it in at the end where she got that closure that she needed. And then obviously the poetic, she died after that, like pretty soon after that. So I thought that was, good storytelling there.
For sure.
Yeah, it does well to end on a good.
And I mean, any Malick movie is just visually just really nice to watch. It's a good vibe. So
true.
Like I said before, I really liked the water in this one. Like
I
think that was like a nice addition to his like visual motifs. So I dug it for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot to like about it for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to like about his filmmaking in general, to be honest. Like it's just artsy and it's
definitely high art filmmaking.
Yeah, high art, which was what I meant by the juxtaposition of this and Top Secret because
You gotta hit
come on.
both ends, right? You gotta see
Yeah.
what everything's about.
Both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum here.
Right.
100%. We touched both ends as far as
Yeah.
we can go on either side.
Extremes. Yeah. Yeah, I was between 3 and 3.5 on this. I'll probably give it 3.5, but it's liable. It's liable to
Yeah.
go down.
On a highlight of it, when I first realized that this was a Pocahontas movie, I was like, "Oh, fuck! Like this is gonna be cartoony as shit," like.
Yeah.
And it proved me wrong that it took it very maturely and didn't like hit like tropes of the story, I guess. So like
You
it
mean
did
no
a good
music
job.
was there was no musical numbers?
Yeah. I mean, I did
Yeah.
write a note about the score. Like right when the movie opened up, it had like the song where it's like at a soldier's funeral where it's like
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that. It's like very drawn out, like long notes is like kind of hidden, but it made me like think that this movie was not going to be good right away. I was like, oh no, like what is this? And then like pretty quickly that washed away,
Yeah.
and then I was into it, and then it went too long. So, but it did
Damn.
Pocahontas
What a roller
maturely.
coaster.
It was yeah, man. His movies, you can't settle. You can't just like
Yeah.
be in on it. You gotta be on your toes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But
Tree of Life next though.
Tree of Life, yeah, I've heard good things, so I'm excited.
Same.
A little over 2 hours. All right.
Hey, that's manageable.
From the synopsis, I feel like I might like this one.
You
At
know,
least I'll
it
like relate to this one.
we can say, oh, it stars Brad Pitt, but who knows how long he's gonna be in it, Who
Yeah.
knows how much screen time he's gonna
First
get. If
10
he's gonna
minutes.
talk, who knows?
Right.
Yeah. They feel
Yeah.
empathetic with Malick again.
I
Yeah.
think I looked it up and it's like back in a Texas town of some sort.
Yeah.
Hey,
In the
we like
So
50s.
like
Texas around here.
yeah. So it kind of feels like he's going back to like Badlands ish time or like vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what he can do, 40 years down the road after that one.
Hey, Badlands is still my favorite, so
Yeah.
riding high off that, yeah,
It
definitely.
is
That's fun.
still top of his list so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I think Thin Red Line's still there,
Yeah,
but
those two.
that's also a flawed movie too in ways. So it's like
Yeah.
Badlands, like I couldn't really pinpoint a lot of flaws except for just like some old filmmaking shit. So maybe it will
Yeah.
kind of end up at the top.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see at the
Yeah.
end of it all.
This
At
ranking
the
will be.
end,
Yeah.
the tree of no, I was gonna try to do some shit with the tree, but
At the big end or the beginning.
it's all just a life cycle.
Time is a flat circle.
The tree of life, baby.
Yes, sir.
Well, that
So
was
I'm
a
between 3 picks for our next movie chest.
okay. Let's hear them.
I'll get your
Nice.
guys' opinions here. Leon the Professional one. Okay, Old Boy, not the new remake by Spike Lee, but the original Old Boy and Straw Dogs.
Oh, so not the horror one you're
Sounds
thinking.
familiar.
No, yeah, I changed it up. I'll keep it a little bit light. Although Straw Dogs, I think, is pretty
Yeah,
rough.
I don't really know much about who's in Straw
I
Dogs?
want
Is
to
that
I want
Dustin
to say
Hoffman?
there's some rapey stuff in there, so that might be a little like hard to sit through. But it's
I
an
mean, I've
old,
watched
Dustin
Wind
Hoffman,
River.
71.
Okay,
That's
there you
true.
go.
Wind
So
River
yeah,
is like infuriating, but
yeah,
in a good way, sort of, just because that movie like
in a
moved me
visceral
in
way.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know.
I'd be down for any of those, man. Honestly, I mean, the first two I know more about, but that doesn't. Yeah, I don't give a shit about
Same
watching Straw
actually,
Dogs
yeah.
too.
I just recently
Yeah.
I've been like going to Straw Dogs on Letterboxd and just kind of like looking at it, reading the synopsis, kind of just wanting to watch it. But Leon the Professional is probably my second pick.
Did we not? I feel like maybe I just watched that on my own time, but I thought we watched that in the chest.
No, I
I've still
picked
never
it as
seen
one
it.
of mine when I wanted to watch it, but it was like up for grabs. But then we did the wheel and it didn't make it. So
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay. No,
Have you seen
honestly,
it?
yeah. Yeah, I have.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
well,
Hey,
let's do
man, you
Straw
follow
Dogs.
your heart.
Straw
There we go.
We're
Dogs.
gonna do Straw Dogs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm
good.
down. Let me check her
Sam
out.
Peckinpah.
Sam Peckinpah. That guy's
Dustin
real?
Hoffman.
Yeah, that guy's real, but I've never seen any of his movies.
All I know of Straw Dogs is the line from Hot Fuzz where he says, Susie was an extra in Straw Dogs, and this guy was an extra in, or he played a cadaver in Prime Suspect, something like that. It's just a Hot Fuzz line. I've seen that movie way too many times, so that's why I know it.
That's good. I've been listening to a few Edgar Wright, just a podcast that he's been on. It's fun.
That dude's a cinephile, dude.
Of the like utmost purport, like
deep.
it's insane. Yeah. It's crazy.
I listened to a chat with him and Tarantino a few years back, and I was
Oh my God.
I could barely understand what they were saying, dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
Different language.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, almost. Well, shit. You guys got anything fun you want to talk about before we sign off?
I'm just watching Fallout. That's about it. I'll probably start The Wire after I finish Fallout.
Get on it, bro. I'm almost done with my rewatch. 5th season. So.
Yeah, I'm almost done with The Sopranos. That'll be a big day for me. That's pretty much all I've been consuming recently. So
that's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I kind of appreciate about The Sopranos and what they do with their storytelling is some things that don't necessarily matter, they don't linger on it too long, you know? They just kind of throw it in as a line and you're just like, oh, okay.
Move on.
I accept that.
I
Especially
was
with the
watching
kids.
Yeah,
But
for sure. It felt like life, like true to more to like how life actually feels, where it's like, yeah, some things, you know, last for like years or months, and then some things is like you forget about it the next week and you never like go back to it. So like, you know, it feels good.
And then some things will come back up, like with Paulie and Tony when they go on their trip, and he realizes Paulie talks so much, and then the Ralph joke comes back up. You know, he's like, I wonder who told Johnny Sack about that. You know, so there's some things that pay off. So I there's a lot to appreciate about The Sopranos.
It's cool too to me when I watched The Wire the first time. You can kind of see how like both shows kind of borrowed from each other a little bit when they were running. Not like blatantly, but like for some of the crime stuff, some of like the storytelling, like The Wire took some of the storytelling, and then Sopranos, it felt like took some of the crime shock stuff. So I don't know, it was just like a nice little double feature if you watch both those shows too.
Definitely. And like you can see like I've said this multiple times, but the touch the Sopranos had like on obviously Vince Gilligan. Because I mean, the dude's favorite movie is Scarface, but you can tell like any mob movie he's probably down for. But like even the dynamic between Tony and Carmela, like that's Skylar and Walter, obviously, but that scene with Christopher and Tony in that first 10 minutes where Tony does it, it's like obviously Christopher's like the Jesse Pinkman, right? And he loves Tony so much and he'll do anything for Tony, but Tony just kind of like Tony has these feelings for him and this affection for him, but he's still like I'm the boss, so I kind of have to. But like when Tony does it, it was just kind of like it felt like the Jesse Walter scene where Walter finally gives up Jesse underneath the car. You know, it was just tough.
That's true.
Just a lot of different juxtaposition and parallels.
For sure. Well, I'm excited for you to get to the end.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I kind of hate everybody in New York, that fucking mob family. They're all just kind of insufferable and just they make these rash decisions to just kill people. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll get theirs, right?
Remember karma.
Well, Johnny Sack just died, but that was depressing.
Is that the car? No, maybe I'm thinking of something later.
Johnny Sack died of cancer in the.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. But the guy Christopher killed that the new head of the family, his brother, in a car. but they've been going around just picking off other people who wanted to be like after Johnny Sack died, there was like this mutiny where they were just killing people because Doc was supposed to be head of the family. This other guy was supposed to be head of the family, but everyone wanted it to be can't think of the guy's name, white hair, got out of
White hair
prison.
dude. Yep.
Yeah. They wanted him to be head of the family, but he had a heart attack, so he's like, I don't want to be head of the family. And he turned into a real pussy, but then suddenly he's all like, I'm a badass again after he had his brother's birthday. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
it'll be
fun.
a good
It's a
ending.
ride. It's a
Yeah.
ride.
I did watch Pearl, by the
Hey,
way.
what do you think?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I bumped
Yeah,
it up to
it's really
4
good.
stars today. Actually, watched it yesterday. It's just like better than most horror movies that I've seen in the last 10 years, honestly. And it like explores something you kind of already know with the first one.
Yeah.
It's like a prequel, so like I wasn't super invested in like the world, I guess. But yeah, Mia Goth,
Fuck yeah.
I like. It
Incredible.
sounds cheesy, but like she might be one of the best actresses I've seen in years. Like
I said the
it's
same thing
crazy.
after leaving Pearl. I took my friend to go watch it. He watched Pearl before he watched X. And it was interesting because your ratings and his ratings are like flipped. His rating for X is lower than Pearl, so maybe it's just whatever he watched first.
Whichever one you watch second, you're not going to enjoy as much, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. But leaving that, we were both like Mia Goth. It's got it, man. And yeah, she's good in the Cronenberg Sons movie.
Mm. I think I gotta watch that one too.
Infinity Pool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
I mean,
Mia
in
Goth,
Pearl, there's
she's
like
got it.
an 8-minute
Fuck yeah.
unbroken take of just her like giving dialogue, and
Yo.
like tears are flowing down her face continuously, and like to get to that emotional state, you had to be like going through something fucking real. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
unless you know how to like put like because most actors or actresses can like get a 1 or a 2 tier if they summon it, but to
Yeah.
go through a whole scene of dialogue and it's just like constantly like coming, it's like holy fuck, man, what are you doing? Like
Well,
it's
I
crazy.
mean,
Wow. Yeah.
her husband is Shia LaBeouf, so like
For real?
she probably has a
What?
lot. Yeah, they have a kid together.
Oh shit, I had no idea.
Wow.
They broke up when he was like went to rehab or something. Then they got back together more recently, and now he has like a bunch of monks living in their house to keep him kind of sane, I guess. So that dude's wild, but yeah, they're an item.
That's
They have
great.
a
I
kid.
mean, well, they're both good actors, and they both
Yeah,
feel like they feel a lot of the performance.
definitely, definitely.
Really
Yeah.
good. I enjoyed it. A lot of like fun in
Hmm.
those in Thai West horror movies too, which to me is like I'm there for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Gotta
That's
kind
have
of
a
made
little
what's
bit of
me.
that in horror.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It,
what's great about horror is that you can do that kind of shit and get away with it.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And like it's there's homages in Pearl and X2 with like Friday the 13th feeling. It's like and like The Shining in Pearl especially, and there's like an act
Yeah.
sequence.
Hmm.
That's cool.
So it's like building on like horror, but it's like almost like reinventing it in this modern way, and I'm just there for it. Like the best one I could think of before this was Talk to Me,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
Talk to Me kind of like fits nicely into like what you know of a horror movie, and like
Hmm.
Pearl and X are like their own things, and they are a horror movie, but it's like so different and so like new. It's just
Yeah.
good, man. I like them.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Definitely.
for Maxine.
Like, Don't Fear the Reaper is used in a lot of horror movies. Like people just throw Don't Fear the Reaper in anything that they can. But an X is like the best Don't Fear the Reaper like soundbite where she just
Yeah.
and it's just
The lights start becoming red
yeah,
on the fucking
a
car. It's
banger
like
going on in the
shit.
background. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Pearl's a fucking she's a weird one. She's a
She
wild
wants to be a
child.
star, man.
Yeah. So good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh
Uh
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. I watched a movie called Snack Shack too.
Mhm.
Uh
Heard of it.
getting into top 10 of my like best of the year, and that one's like number 5 honestly right now.
Really?
Didn't
Yeah.
expect much of it, but I'm there for like coming of age movies, and this is all about like two dudes in '90s in the summer, and like relationships and jobs and like shit like that.
Okay.
Summer at the
Yeah.
pool. Just really fun, really like energetic, and like similar to like with Ty West. It's like there's a new voice here that's like
Yeah.
doing similar things, but doing it right and doing it for a modern audience. And
Mm.
I'm just on board for that shit now. Like I just need to feel like I'm listening to someone that's telling me something in this generation. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it before, but Ty West's Western, In a Valley of Violence,
yeah.
you should check that out.
I added all of
I
his other
mean,
ones too. I was like, I'm gonna check
yeah,
those out sometime.
that one's like a good Ty West Western, if you will. It's
Hmm.
his take on a Western, which was fun.
Okay.
So,
His other horror
yeah.
movies look pretty interesting too. From just like the little
Yeah.
bits I saw, I was like, that's kind of cool. I'll check that one out. You know,
Yeah.
for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's dope. I'm glad you liked it.
Yes, and we did see the Fall Guy, me and Noah.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
I
good?
liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
I said there's
It was
not really a movie
good.
like it. Like the
Yeah.
closest I could do is like Tropic Thunder, and then like a little bit of 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but really, those aren't even like it. It's kind of its own thing.
Yeah. It's like I mentioned before. After we walked out, that it's like meta because it knows it's a movie about making movies. But like by the end of it, you're just like kind of like forgotten that
Yeah.
fourth wall has like been broken, kind of. And you're just
Mhm.
kind of in it for like the story between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, the relationship is really well done, and you actually feel like
Yeah,
you want them to get together. You know, like they feel like
Okay.
two
Good
people you care
chemistry.
about. Definitely.
yeah. It's just like the ups and downs you see through there,
Mm.
trying to figure out like what the relationship is. I
Yeah,
thought were just like spot on.
I think
And then the stunts are just fucking next
the
level.
sequences are the highlight for sure. I mean, you can tell
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Leitch knows his shit.
Mhm.
And similar to like Bullet Train, like there's comedic beats in the action,
Okay.
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
fucking the way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like there's one point where he's like has to like dive, and he's got like a coffee cup, and he has to like stuntman roll out of it, and you can just see like the moment by moment like thoughts that are going on in that sequence, you know, and like
Yeah.
it's just like you can actually track the action and the thoughts of the action,
Mm,
and
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's always
definitely,
nice in an action sequence.
They're
Being able
actually
to understand where you are, you know?
yeah,
true.
and just like know that the character is something rather than just
Yeah.
like choreography. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
there's like a real person there making a decision there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
some of it's a little too inside Hollywood.
A little bit.
Uh,
There's some
like I don't.
references that are just like
I heard
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't
I
know.
mean, I liked most of the references, but like we're talking about this younger generation, like I don't think they will know any
Yeah.
of them. You know,
I miss
so
they make a Last of the Mohicans reference, and I was just like,
mm, yeah.
okay, I guess that was in there. Yeah.
We just watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the sequence in the like nightclub or the party is fucking fire. I
Awesome.
loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That one and the one in the moving like garbage truck, the thing that's like spinning. That those
I
two
love that
stood out.
spin.
I was like, this is next level action for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And they broke a record of like flipping a car 8.5 times in the movie and like in real life. That's like the
I
record
know.
now. Or you just gotta appreciate the shit that they went for. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Sick jump helicopter shit going in at the end.
Yeah.
There's that line where it's just like, all right, stunt team, go. And it's just like it's like whatever this the celebrities like security force against like the stunt team that's working
Right.
on the movie. But it's at that point you're just like, oh, this is just gonna be the stunt team. Like this is gonna be the movie we're watching, a stunt team
Right.
balling out. It's gonna be yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah, it's not bad. It hits some tropes. Like for me, there's like a microphone. Like we got to catch him because he's gonna forget his mic's off, you know, or he doesn't have his mic
Mm,
on. Like it hits like tropes for sure, but it's pretty fresh. It feels like nice to. I don't know. It's fun to watch. A little bit
yeah,
long, but
Yeah.
a little bit. A little bit.
It's on my list. I haven't been able to get to the movies.
they're coming out, man. I'm gonna go see
I
Yeah.
Kingdom
know.
of the Planet of the Apes probably this weekend. So
I know.
Okay.
I gotta see that one. I still gotta see Challengers, fucking Fall Guy.
go see Challengers
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
liked
first
it.
one I would want to see over all of these. I'm a little worried about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. If it's, I was thinking if it's like any just more of the same, yeah, I'm not gonna be mad because the shit that they've done is really good. So like if they
Yeah.
do another
Yeah.
one, I'll probably enjoy it, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
have
definitely.
a feeling it'll be of lesser of the ones that just like where do you go?
Yeah, I guess to their descendants, Caesar's fucking grandson or something.
Yeah.
See if I care about them. I mean, I like Caesar,
Right. Yeah, that's true.
but apes together are strong. So,
Yeah. There we
Ape
go.
no kill ape.
ape no kill ape.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Oh yeah, Welcome to Wrexham came back. I started that.
Mm. I saw that. Yeah, I caught up.
Yeah, that's cool. Checking up on the
Good
team.
show. Love that. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Played my first uh rec league soccer game last weekend.
You win?
We tied 6-6.
Damn.
Scored one, assisted a couple.
Nice, man.
Still got it, baby. Still got
Back
it.
right in the back. Was it indoor?
Outdoor.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's a high
Yeah,
scoring game for an outdoor game.
yeah. I mean, considering we're just like a bunch of people who have been thrown onto a team, to everyone else is like organized teams. It's like, not too shabby.
Yeah.
Not too
I
shabby.
made it work.
Yeah.
Found the rhythm.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm a
Nice.
little sore, but yeah.
Yeah, other than that, Alex, if you're jonesing for any more Baltimore drug shit, I did watch The
Okay.
Corner.
I'm listening.
You're there? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same creator. I actually added all of his shows. I'm gonna watch Generation Kill next, which is about like it's one season about like some Iraq military people. Here it's
Okay.
really good. I don't know. And he made like The Deuce. I'll probably watch that one eventually.
Oh, the series, The
Yeah,
Deuce.
it's got like Maggie
Okay, yeah.
Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just like The Wire that much that I'm gonna probably watch the rest of that guy's shows. But I did watch The Corner, and it's just like 6 episodes of like the drug scene in Baltimore, and it
Yeah.
was made before The Wire, so it's not as like polished, but it's just as there in my opinion of like
Well written,
truthful.
at
And,
least.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you're only following like the street level, so you don't really get to like the cops or like the politics.
Yeah.
So you don't really go many places that you probably haven't been already from The Wire, but just the acting, the characters, and then
Yeah.
like the situation is just like very
Well,
compelling.
shit. Most of the best stuff in The Wire is on the streets. So, in those characters.
Fucking Bubbles, man, what a great
Fuck
character.
yeah.
Mm. But yeah, if you're jonesing for more and you're not looking to watch The Wire, I was, so that's what I watched. But I think I'm
Okay.
gonna
Yeah.
go into his later shows now.
I started The Deuce when it first came out. I watched the first episode when it came out.
Hmm.
I mean, it's solid.
Hmm. Yeah, I
I
know
just
really.
never got around to finishing it.
Yeah, there was no real like interest to go for it when it came out. But
Mm.
now that I know who's like behind it, I'll give it more of a shot.
The Corner, is that on HBO too?
I watched it all on YouTube.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that might be the only place to find it, unless you have like the DVD set. But he's
Is
got
it
like
not on our special site?
I didn't check actually. Might be.
Oh, I'll check
Yeah,
there. I mean, but if it's on YouTube, it's easy.
yeah, it's pretty easy. But he's got a bunch of shows. He's got one called Treem, which is about like New Orleans after Katrina, and that did like 3 seasons. And he's got like some
Oh,
mini series like Show Me a Hero, We Own the City, and The Plot Against America.
We Own the City. That's the one, the more recent one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the most recent one he's done.
Yeah.
And it's
I heard
about
that one's pretty
Baltimore.
good.
So like
Yeah.
it's kind of revisiting it. But I'm kind of like a Wire stan now. But like
Fuck yeah.
I'm looking to it to like write television. Like it's just like so well written and the
Just
mind behind
characters
it is so
alone, man.
smart. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And just the flow of the story, like the world they live in, is like your main plot device. The
Mhm.
people within that world, it's just so
Yeah.
well fleshed out.
Like
It's fantastic.
everybody listen to some actors and stuff, and they're like, Baltimore's the main character.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty true, honestly, for that show.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, super good. I'm gonna check out more because about to finish The Wire again, and I gotta get something else
going. Cool. Yeah, I think once I finish The Sopranos, I think I'm gonna go back rewatch The Wire again, and I'll probably get the taste. Nothing in my time at work. I'll probably watch Corner.
I'll be fiending for that dope after The Wire, man.
Oh, I will.
Be needing that good. But yeah, I mean that's it. So we decided what was it?
Straw Dogs.
Straw Dogs, Tree of Life, maybe a little Planet of the Apes talk, depending on who sees it or not. But yeah, check us out next week to find out.
Definitely. Did you kill the stream?
Yeah, I just got